Well, I tell a little bit of our family story, but since I worked with the OPP, we go into a lot of First Nation communities, and it's still a big struggle. When they did the war on drugs through the Union of Ontario Indians a couple of years ago, they were talking about the type of drugs were in our communities and what are we going to do. And I thought, when I was a kid, 35 years ago, they were talking about the same thing. But then it was marijuana and alcohol. We just become a little richer, and so we haven't really touched or really worked on what we hope to do. And through this program, we hope to get it more into schools and give some of the parents something to be aware of. Like a lot of parents said, well, I don't really know what to look for. And hopefully through Anne's story that they'll have some signs that they might see with their own children.
This isn't just limited to the First Nations
No,
community.
no. What we wanted to do when we came up with the idea was to build a partnership with Union of Ontario Indians. And we're always looking at building self-esteem of Aboriginal youth. So we thought, let's show the film, but it goes across the board to any really parent or family member or community members, really.
George, 35 years ago, what got you on the right side of the law?
For me, I think it was athletics, getting into sports. A good friend of mine, Larry Shepard, just moved into North Bay, and I got into weightlifting, got into hockey. And coming from a community, you wanted to make changes. So that's what my feeling was. I needed to make a change in my own community.
Oh my God, Larry's old.
Yeah.
What changes do we have to make as the parent generation?
What changes do we have to make now is have more of an understanding what drugs are out there. I know there's so many out there, and it's hard to keep on track of everything. Keep a closer eye to your own children, and listen more to your children. I know that we give our children so many things now, like iPods and computers, and I heard a parent say one time, I have a DVD in my van, now I don't have to listen to my kids, but that's probably the only time we ever listen to our kids. And giving the information to our youth also. Not in high school, but grade 5 and 6. So they have a base before they get into grade 7 and 8, because that's where kids get into problems, grade 7 and 8. We think it's high school, but it's prior to that.
And you want this to go across Ontario and possibly across the nation, reaching out beyond that as well?
Yeah, we hope to target First Nations right across Canada in partnership with, like I said, with Nabising High School and the Ontario Catholic School Board also.